Hey, I'm glad you made it here. I want this video to be helpful and insightful for you, so I will do my best to give you good context and keep it BS free. The moment I realized how someone could best support me when I was going through cancer turned out to be something I was totally not expecting, and I learned something about myself years later. So even if you or your person have no idea how you could support each other right now, it's okay. We'll explore some ideas in this video. If you're new here, I'm Emily. You can call me Em. What I share in this video is based on personal experience, having been through cancer myself, having coached people with cancer and going through cancer treatments, having been there for my friends and family who were tackling cancer. Over the years, I've also had a lot of people reach out to me on social media or just in passing, asking me for suggestions, either for themselves or for the person that they want to support who's going through cancer. You can think of this video as an amalgamation of all of the different conversations I've had, depending on the person, depending on the intention, deep, light, surface level, different strokes for different folks, man. Having said that, let's establish an understanding. Everyone's cancer journey is different. Age, gender, lifestyle, financial situations, personalities. Someone in their 70s are going to be dealing with cancer differently than someone in the 30s. An introvert is going to tackle cancer differently than an extrovert. There's no one size fits all. However, there are similarities. Number 1, you can support someone with cancer by listening closely. Asking for help outright is not easy for everyone, especially if that someone has been known as a leader, be it at work or at home, known as someone who's always positive and successful in one way or another, known as someone who's independent. Most of the time, it's not that they don't want the support. It's because they're already grieving the loss of that identity pre-cancer. Asking for support of any form, it might just mean it's not the right time for them yet. Remember, we don't all process at the same pace. So what are some examples of listening closely? Especially when not everyone with cancer wants to talk about cancer. Look out for non-verbal cues, tone, choice of words. And if you know them well, you have a better picture of what kind of support they already have and what they're struggling with. Example A, perhaps your person needs some financial support, but the last thing they want to do is ask for money. It might be associated with shame and disappointment, depending on their relationship with money. Other than the obvious support in donating cash, you could offer to give them a ride to and from the hospital. You could offer to cook for them or bring some takeout and hang out. Walk their dogs, help them with their kids, help them brainstorm ways to find funding. There are a lot to explore that aren't monetary. One of the best ways I was supported in this aspect in dealing with cancer was when my friend John had set up a fundraising page for me on my behalf and helped me manage it while I was going in and out of chemo. That helped me with my anxiety around money and allowed me to put more attention to just get better. Example B, perhaps your person doesn't need financial support, but they could use an ally in something else, like movement. Evidence has shown that people who engage in regular movement during cancer treatments and even after have better outcomes. So exercise in this context goes beyond weight management. It helps with anxiety and mood regulation. It helps with brain health. Sweating helps move toxins from chemotherapy out of the system. And if they're able-bodied to do resistance training with an exercise band or lightweight dumbbells or even bodyweight strength training, maintaining muscle can help the body and brain in so many ways. These movement sessions can look like doing Pilates together at home, going for nature walks together, trying out a movement class together, or even working with a personal trainer together. As a movement ally, you're a soft core accountability partner. You'd be surprised by how much more effort it takes to move with so much drugs in your system, even for someone who used to be really active before cancer. I owe my movement ally, aka Movement Bae, so much of my sanity during this time. Thank you, Tracy. Perhaps your person have the necessities of funding, exercise, and nutrition on lockdown. This doesn't mean that they don't have any other needs, like wanting to feel as normal as possible. Cancer is a pretty isolating experience. Regardless of whether they're a part of a cancer support group or know someone else going through the same thing, because it's never the same thing. Within the cancer community, factors like age, gender, pre-existing conditions, type of cancer treatments, response to those treatments. I could go on. These factors make every person's cancer experience different from one another. So what are some ways to help boost your person's spirits? Think hobbies. What are their hobbies? If those hobbies can't be done because perhaps travel is not possible right now, or they have a catheter that they cannot get submerged in water, whatever it is, have they mentioned that, I've always wanted to try that, or I've always wanted to do that? Painting, or singing, or calligraphy, or knitting, scrapbooking, photography, videography. Or perhaps they're missing the community aspect of certain hobbies. Listen closely to what is underneath the surface as they're going through this identity transition. If it helps to get insights from a cancer patient when they're going through cancer treatments in their own words, I documented my entire hospital stay during my bone marrow transplant. I was also invited to speak about my experience, which I did in hopes that it could help someone else understand and discover how they might help their person going through cancer. I'll include the links in the description. Number 2, you can support them with cancer admin. Yes, cancer admin. It doesn't matter if their cancer treatments last a few weeks or a few years. There's always mountains of paperwork to get through, especially if they are the ones handling the reimbursement process with their insurance company. There are also doctor's notes to remember, medication to manage, prescriptions to be filled, and all of the appointments to keep track of other than the oncologist. You got physiotherapists to dietitians, to clinical psychologists or psychiatrists or counselors, to personal trainers and health coaches, to functional medicine doctors, to holistic therapists, to blood draws and scans. If your person is doing everything they can to bolster their chances of survival and improve their quality of life, chances are there's a lot of admin to manage. Now, if you are the caregiver, these responsibilities might be bestowed upon you. In addition to, you probably are the main source of emotional support for this person. That's a lot. This is where shared organization can make all the difference. In other words, use a system that both of you can collaborate. This could be a communal notebook that is easy access to the both of you, or a shared calendar, physical or digital. If you use digital tool to organize your life and work, then you have probably heard of Notion. And by the way, this is not sponsored. I created a medical organizer called the Recovery Hub. You have shared access to this hub to update appointments, doctor's notes, and track insurance reimbursements. There's also a packing list for the inpatient days/hospital stays, as well as suggested watch lists and read lists and journal prompts. Obviously, you will customize the items depending on the person's preferences and needs. And I'm giving this template away. It is at no cost to you. You can find the link in the description. If you haven't heard of Notion yet, don't worry. It's free to use across all of your devices. And I kept the flow of this template simple and easy to use, as well as intuitive. So you don't have to spend time looking up how to navigate Notion, but instead you can focus your energy on each other. Even if you're not the caregiver, I hope this tool can help you support the caregiver. Number 3, you can support them by gifting comfort. Now, there are tangible gifts and intangible gifts. First, the tangible gifts. Depending on the type of chemotherapy, drugs, radiation, or other forms of cancer treatments, it's not unusual to experience side effects like sensitive skin, acne, dry eyes, dry mouth, dry everything, hair loss, nerve impairment, gut issues, lung issues, brain issues, headaches, nausea, diarrhea. You get the idea. You can be selective with the tangible gifts that bring comfort, like super soft towels, a pillowcase made of bamboo, which is typically better for sensitive skin, a weighted blanket that feels like a hug, a delicious scented candle made from soy or beeswax, non-toxic bath salts or skincare, fuzzy slippers for the hospital, a silky eye pillow. Look, you know your person. You probably have a whole host of ideas on what to give them. The bottom line here is you want to give them something that will ease their pain and discomfort as much as possible. If you want more of these ideas, you can have my gifting list. This is the exact list I send to anyone who asks me for suggestions on what they can gift to their person going through cancer. The link is in the description. As for untangible gifts, this could look like helping them set up a cozy little nook in their living room where they could relax or travel through a book or journal or just lay really still until the nausea passes. There's also something comforting about being in water or near a big body of water. So if your location allows, take them to the beach for some sea gazing or a stroll by the lake or promenade by the river. Laughing is a great release. Watch a stand-up comedy together, share jokes, share funny memes. There's this one Instagram account that I think got me through so many dark times. When things feel really low, they share real content that feels authentic. It doesn't feel like fluff, and it's actually funny. It's called The Cancer Patient on Instagram. I've shared this with many others who also find solace in processing with humor. There's this one gift I still draw strength and comfort from, even after 5 years, and that's photo shoots. Now, hang on. Before you think this is like a stage studio shoot with fake smiles and lots of makeup and a wig, let me show you what I mean. Photos essentially capture moments for memories. This is a time when the person is going through a massive challenge, perhaps the biggest challenge in their lives, and likely exuding the most strength and tenacity amidst the other emotions like frustration and disappointment and anger and hopelessness and doubt and lack of faith. It is a whole swirl and blend of conflicting emotions. Capturing this truth in the form of photos can be a tangible gift. Whether it's during or somewhere down the line, it becomes something that reminds them of their strengths. I'm very lucky that the photographers that I work with were movement artists themselves. They have the eye to capture art and movement, as well as complicated blend of emotions. They all believe in paying it forward. One of them even came and helped take photos of one of my clients who was going through stomach cancer at the time, and Chris had hopped along to take photos of him working out with his family. After John passed, his wife had said to me she is truly grateful for those photos. Photography is art, and art comes in many forms. These 3 concepts became key in helping me understanding what I didn't know about myself, that I process things through art and movement, and most of all, genuine connections. Before I go, I have 2 anchoring questions for you as someone who's supporting someone with cancer. Is your energy okay? Cancer touches many lives. You might have already lost someone to cancer, and showing up for someone else right now might just be too much. And that is okay. If you can, be honest and gentle with that person. Chances are it's better than radio silence. Number 2, is this about them or is this about you? As humans, we can usually tell if someone is sincere or if they're just trying to satisfy some obligation towards themselves, like charity points or living up to an identity. The intention is different when you're thinking, I have to do this because I'm a good friend, versus what can I do for you, and truly mean it. Although the fact that you're here tells me that you deeply care for this person. You're doing something hard here, so remember to take care of yourself. And hey, if I've missed anything here, or if you have some ideas to share with others watching this video, please share them in the comments. Let's support each other.